It was kind of a gradual decision. Like it started off, of course, my father was in the trades. He started off with having an opportunity to work with him during the summers, and it was excellent, excellent money for a summer job. So that was a very easy decision to kind of start with him on that. When high school finished up, I was kind of weighing my options. I certainly had the option to carry on to university, and it just didn't. School was starting to appeal to me a lot less at that point, and my father had the opportunity to go work with him, and it was kind of like, well, that sounds like a good idea until I figure out what I want to do, and here I am 20 years later. So. There's a big financial aspect. I think this is a huge advantage. Like you're making a very good salary very early on rather than logging like 5 years of student debt. It is really nice to be out in the workforce right away, learning hands-on. Especially someone like me, I've always enjoyed the hands-on learning, and so really to get out there and get right into like kind of a decent salary, learning the whole time, it certainly sets you up a lot better. You're kind of not setting yourself back with all the student debt and so on. Certainly, I think problem solving is probably one of the biggest one. Like just kind of a good kind of logistical problem solving. I think that's probably my biggest asset, and one of the things I appreciate most about the trade is that like you're constantly, no matter what trade you're in, you're given situations that you have to overcome, and it's constantly trying to figure out the best way to overcome, the best way to approach this problem, and the best way to deal with it. Even on an installation, you need to figure out, what's the best way you can put this in to make it functional and work the way everybody expects it to work. So a lot of public relations in there for sure, that you have to learn how to talk to the customers and make sure that they understand. That was actually probably one of my biggest draws towards the industrial sector. Is I never felt as comfortable dealing with a homeowner, but it's certainly dealing on an industrial level where you're probably dealing with somebody who's a little bit more understanding what you're talking about. I've always enjoyed that aspect a lot more. There's constantly new challenges because you're constantly hitting things that you've never encountered before. I mean, my old man was 40 years in the trade and still hitting things that he had never seen before. You'll never ever become, well, it's like that phrase. Anybody who says that they're the best there is at something is probably one of the worst mechanics, because a true mechanic knows he'll never be the best there is because he knows how many things you're going to encounter out there, and you'll always find new problems and new challenges that you have to overcome. Don't expect the world immediately. We all had to spend years learning to get where we get, and really you're constantly evolving, and just try to appreciate the opportunity you've been given and really embrace that. The educational aspect of it and the schooling, it's something that needs to be done so you understand the concepts, but most of this job really boils down to experience. You learn when you're on the job, you learn by seeing, by doing, and that is just not something that you can get immediately. It comes in time.